next, I'm going to do a derivative class. Let's start with the savings because that one's easier. It's class savings account. And that one is going to take the bank account class as a parent. So that's where I link it up and I say that is going to be derived from this class. So the first thing I want to do is I want to call an initialization method. And I'm going to require, because the parent class requires this, I have to require it in the child class so I can pass it back up. So I'm going to say require that. And then I'm going to, can't figure out why that is underlined. Oh, it's just yelling at me because I haven't done something yet. Okay, so we're going to say super dot ni initialization. And so now, so this is calling the initialization for this using that argument. Now this line is saying we're going to take this and we're going to pass it back up to the parent class to initialize that class, because when it's based on that, we have to call this. So that's what I'm doing here is I'm explicitly calling it and I'm going to say strn. Oops, I don't need to give self here. So I give that as a boy, it's really getting angry here. Why is that one mad? We don't target for variable annotation. Let's check here really quickly how I initialize that one. Super init str. Yeah, that should be there. Oh, that's why. That's why. You didn't like that colon at the end. I don't know why I put that there. All right, there we go. So we're calling that one. And then for this one, we're going to give one more parameter so we know what type it is. Type equals, and I'll call it str type. There we go. And we'll call that a savings account. So now it has balance, name, and it also has type equals savings. And then it'll have the deposit with and the withdrawal and the string. But what I'd like is I'm going to override this string for the savings because I want to include one more piece of information. And what that is that I want to include is the type. So I'm going to put the brackets there and I'm going to say self.str type. So it'll say that in brackets and I'll increase that to 30. So we've got enough space for it. So I'm using polymorphism to override that. And that's really it for savings. Savings is just a generic account that is a specific type, but it doesn't do anything else. So we're back here. All we did is just create this. So now we want to create checking. I'm going to use savings as a model for that, or as a starter. So I'm going to copy that and paste that whole thing and start changing some of this. Checking. And I'm going to say checking. This is fine because I'm using that type dynamically. And then we also want to do self.int check number. And we'll start out with check number 1000. Okay, so we'll start out with check number 1000. And now all I have to do, so I've got the check number. Now all I have to do is do the right check because it inherits the rest of those. So I'm going to go DEF, right check, and writing a check, like I said, is just like doing a withdrawal, except for one thing. It uses the check number. So I'm going to just take this whole code here, since it's pretty much the same with the one exception. How much do you want to write the check for? And I can put the check number in here, self check number. And then all of these things, wrote check, can just be modified to have the right language. Check number, self dot check number for that amount from that account. You don't have enough money, doesn't need to be changed. And then, so if I write the check number, only if I write the check number, we want to increment the check number. So I'm going to say self dot check number plus equals 1. So that will make sure that our check numbers stay in sequence. So now I have a checking account, a savings account, both based on the bank account class.